Go. Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Cassie Johnson with the Lake Mills Chamber, and I'm here this morning with Gary Dean, owner of Dean Cemetery Care, which was established in 2023
Correct.
fall.
Yep.
It was so pretty young business. Well, but the experience is still there, just young business.
Correct. Correct.
And we are here for the first Chamber Coffee Chat of 2024, and we're going to learn all about Dean Cemetery Care. So
great.
if you want to start us off, tell us about your business and the services that you have.
Okay, well, first I'd like to thank everyone for viewing us. The business is basically taking care of cemetery work that not a lot of normal people can do themselves. So anywhere from replacing a foundation that's broken up, putting either a new concrete one underneath or a granite foundation, cleaning stones, whether that's power washing or soft washing, and that's depending on the type of stone that it is. Granite you can power wash, some marbles and slate you can't at all.
Okay.
And then also I'll be digging graves, cremations, and body burials in northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. And I believe I have a couple routes in southern Minnesota as of now to do stones.
Sweet.
So,
Tell us a little about the history of your business and how you got into this business. Your business card says you have 19 years of experience.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
back in 2004, I got the job at Memorial Park Cemetery in Mason City, and I started off there as the guy learning everything, and then ended up being the superintendent. I took over superintendent in 2019, and after that, then basically did everything in the cemetery from mowing the grass to operating the crematory and installing their stones as well.
Wow.
And so through there, working for 19 years, I'd been making other people a lot of money, and, so I thought I'd branch out on my own
Yep.
and start working for area funeral homes and cemeteries and trying to do work for them.
Awesome. Well, I think there's a lot that goes into, end of life services and funeral services. And it's even looking at your Facebook, it's amazing the kind of equipment that you have to have for this type of job, and some of the things that people don't even realize happen until they have a loved one pass away and they have to handle that.
Yeah, and that's, through the 19 years I've been there, like I said, I started in 04, and in 04 actually my mother passed away.
Okay.
And so it kind of was a good grieving process for me. Now not only am I not worried about, being sad myself for my mother passing, but now I'm taking care of 300 other families that they've lost a loved one as well.
Yeah.
And in the cemetery business, funeral home business, there's a lot of stuff that you just don't know until you actually have to deal with it or work in that business yourself.
Right.
So it's always something you're learning, things change to adapt with the times, And when I first started, we did probably 80% body burials. And since then to now, 20 years difference, it's reversed to where it's about 20% body burials and 80% cremation. And that is, a lot of that has to do with the cost. Cremation is a third of the price of a body burial.
Right.
And, people just kind of, they can also be cremated and kept on your mantle,
Right.
things like that too. So.
Right. Yes. I have a little video of some of the before and after pictures from your website,
Okay.
so I'm going to play that, and maybe we can talk through some of the stuff you see.
Okay.
Like this one here.
Yeah, that one's there in Winnebago Lutheran Cemetery between Leland and Lake Mills, and that was a foundation that would have been put in the 40s
Okay.
and had broken up.
Yeah.
And then these are some stones I've installed around northern Iowa, I believe.
It's going a little fast, sorry.
Yeah, I believe that was down in Clarion. I think that one's in Alexander.
Okay. So
yeah.
that was expanding the base of that
Yes, because they got a matching stone
Sure.
to go with that one. And so we just pulled out the old one, put a larger
Yeah.
one in, and then next spring when that stone comes in, I can go back down
Cool.
and install it fairly quickly.
Yes. So what, tell me about, I know you said you work with area funeral homes and you also work directly with families. So what are some of the differences between services that you provide a funeral home than maybe versus if someone wants to contact you directly about something?
Oh, okay. So the funeral homes, they're mostly going to get a hold of me when they sell a stone.
Okay.
And, funeral homes will sell a stone anywhere, northern Iowa, southern Minnesota. And so they'll get the details from the cemetery, because each cemetery actually has different rules, regulations, different size graves, and so you have to figure out where this person's going or the stone is going, find out their rules and regulations, and then
Right.
sell them a stone accordingly that can actually go to that cemetery. And then the funeral home then would contact me, let me know that they have a stone on order. It goes to Alexander Cemetery, say, and it's going to go on a 24 by 60 inch foundation.
Okay.
So then this stone arrives. I actually have these granite foundations on hand. And so whether they got shipped with the stone or use one of mine, load the stone up with the foundation and go down there. Normally you call ahead of time. The cemetery sexton will go out there and either meet you or go out there and place flags to mark
Okay.
the center of the two graves or one grave, and then you just put the stone in accordingly. For families, they're mainly probably going to contact me for if they have an older stone in a cemetery that needs to be repaired. And then you can look at them, determine how deep the foundation is, if you have to do anything with that. A lot of these older ones, they can be up to 3 foot deep.
Okay.
And you're not just moving that by hand. And it takes quite a bit of time,
Yeah.
and so determine, go out, look at the stone, determine what it needs to be done, and then give them a price quote and then go from there.
Sure.
Also, though, a lot of people nowadays are just ordering their own stones online. And there's a lot of websites. The quality is,
Right.
can be good, cannot be, so you have to watch what you're ordering. But, if somebody were to order, a single person stone for the Salem Cemetery, they'd figure out how big the space is and how big a stone can go on that. Then they can order that and then have it directly shipped to me.
Oh.
I will unload it, and then when we decide on what foundation it's going on, or it might be a lawn level,
Right.
where you can dig it flat, set it flat with the ground, determine the foundation, talk to the cemetery, get that lined up, and then install from there.
Wow.
And over the last 5 years, the increase of people just ordering their own stones off the internet has increased
Yeah.
dramatically.
Yeah, I
you know.
suppose in a lot of industries that has happened.
Yes, and it's so convenient. You can get right on there.
Yeah.
You can get your own design,
Yep.
and boom, it's done and
Yeah.
shipped out to you, and you get it within 3 months. So
Right. Yeah. I imagine trying to do that though and having it show up to your house and then being like, how do I move this thing?
yes, yeah, and when I worked down at Memorial Park, people would just randomly ship us things because they knew we were a cemetery. And so we'd get a columbarium that showed up.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
where does this go? Well, it goes to State Line Cemetery. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need help installing it? No, we just had it shipped there. So then it sits around till
Yeah.
the family can find somebody to come pick it
move
up,
it.
and then they figure that out on their own.
Wow.
I don't know how well that went for them.
Yeah.
But hopefully it went well.
Yep. And so obviously a lot of this work happens when the ground is warm.
Yes.
So what are you doing in the winter months to help keep your business going?
Right now I'm just doing snow removal, and I'm waiting on my mini excavator. I've purchased that through Mitco, and I've had a couple body burials I could have done, but I just don't happen to have the digger yet to do
Yeah.
that. And so just doing snow removal, getting my shop lined up, everything, and then doing winter maintenance on my vehicles.
Yep. And then you said
crane.
also that you have to, on the off season, you're still like finding stone and you're finding
Oh, yes.
materials and
Yeah,
things too.
we'll receive stones throughout the winter, and those I have an inventory north of the old 5-star shop there,
Okay.
where I keep granite foundations on hand, and then all these stones I'm getting 5 pallets in today. And
Wow.
so stones I'll receive all winter long, every 3 to 4 weeks, and then we just store them and wait till it gets warm, and hopefully we have a good year.
Right. Yes. What do you enjoy most about this job?
Being outside and helping people.
Yeah.
It's when you go to install one, it's nice to get there, get it all done, let the family know, or if they happen to show up as you're finishing,
Yeah.
it's, to me, a headstone is kind of the last thing. It's kind of one of the finals
Yep.
of you've already dealt with the death, which is tough, and it's always going to be tough, you know. But to be able to go out to that grave space and see, you know, whether it's your dad's name or your mom's name on a nice piece of granite
Right.
that's marking their grave, that will be there forever.
Right.
You know, it's nice to help somebody finish that off, and
Right.
you know, I know how much it meant to myself when I put my mom's stone actually in myself. You
Yeah.
know, so
Oh,
it was a nice feeling all around.
Yeah.
You know. And,
yeah. And I see too now that you work for yourself that you can bring your kids along with you once in a
Oh
while.
yes. No.
Do they enjoy that?
Oh, they do.
They do?
Both boys can drive the truck. Brigham, he said he's going to be the guy who's going to back the trailer up all the time.
Nice.
Great.
Yep.
You know, less for me to do, but
Yeah.
no. I've put them both to work. We had a cremation burial over at Elk Creek, and that's just across the interstate from us.
Okay.
And boys and I went over there. We had the cremation dug and the dirt in the truck, and we were driving away, and it took us less than 15 minutes. you
Wow.
know, But they both were doing stuff while I was doing stuff,
Right.
and you know,
And they know what they're doing.
yeah, and they like to work too.
Yeah,
you know,
good.
make some money.
Yeah, there you go. That's good incentive. So if people want to contact you, how do you say the best way to do that is?
Either via phone, email, or Facebook Messenger, I suppose. Dean Cemetery Care, and that's at gmail.com is my
Okay.
email. Phone number is going to be on my card, 641-494-7497. And, you know, if you're out and about, feel free to stop down at the shop. It's the old 5-star with the 2 A-frames there. And, you know, right now we're just doing snow and getting ready for spring. Before you know it,
Absolutely.
it'll be warm. We're getting minutes a day.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, we're getting minutes a day of sunlight too, which is nice. You know, more sunlight during the day is great. No,
Go give them a follow on Facebook. It's kind of scrolling through their Facebook right now, as you can see. Post pictures pretty regularly.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, and just update on different projects and what's up and what's going on. So check that out. Usually when do you have anything else you want to say before we, anything else?
No. I guess I got a couple of things here. Like on any work that I do, like I said, each cemetery has its own rules and regulations. So what we've went to, or I've went to, and what I'm going to try to do is go to all granite foundations. So we're not using cement at all.
Oh, okay.
You know, because over time, if you look on my Facebook, there's a before and after of a foundation I replaced with a granite foundation. And so what it is, it's going to be granite with granite on top, you know, and so the concrete won't break up, because concrete does over
Yep.
time. They're always redoing roads.
Yep.
And so what I'm going to do is, in these smaller cemeteries as well, a lot of them don't pack their graves. And so when you dig next to a stone, that stone naturally will want to go into that softer earth that has been moved.
Yep.
And so on all my work, I do guarantee it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going in there and putting in a 4-inch piece of granite with a stone on top, I can go back at any time with a bucket of sand,
Yep.
a block, and a long bar, and I can raise that back up,
Okay.
back to level.
Right.
You know, certain cemeteries though, they require concrete underneath your granite foundation.
Okay.
And so when that occurs, once my granite foundation touches anyone else's concrete, I can't guarantee it.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause you're digging down to 4 foot in some spots,
Right.
and
And then to level that is a lot trickier.
a lot trickier.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so but I guarantee all my work. You know, because over time, you know, like anyone that's looked out in a field, you've looked in that field for 5 years in that spot. In the 6th year, there's a field rock that popped up.
Right.
You know,
That's
and
true.
it's a big one.
Yeah.
You know, so the ground is going to heave and swell and stuff over time, and so your stones are naturally going to move with that. You know, and so, you know, by guaranteeing my work, I can easily come back, raise that up, put some sand underneath its level. You know,
Right.
no one's the wiser. So, it's a job I enjoy doing. You know, I took this adventure on by myself. I just been working for 19 years for somebody and
Yep.
filling his pockets, so I thought maybe, you know, I could do it myself and
Yeah.
maybe pass something on to the kids too.
Yeah.
So,
It'd be awesome.
yeah.
Well, usually with these chamber coffee chats, we sign off with asking what your breakfast drink of choice. Is it coffee? Is it something else?
Oh, probably Coca-Cola.
I'm a pop drinker too. I drink a Diet Pepsi usually in the morning.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
Coca-Cola for sure.
Never got into coffee much.
Nope.
Although once in a while I'll have something. But anyway, yes, if anybody wants to reach out to Gary, their phone number is 641-494-7497, or you can check out their website. I'm sure it's on there too, and Facebook. Or email deancemeterycare@lake-mills.org.
Okay.
Is that right?
You'd have to ask my wife.
She's a business manager?
She is definitely is.
That's okay. It's a
She
family
def-
business.
Yes.
There you
No,
go.
she
Everybody's
does the hard
involved.
work.
Awesome. So everybody have a great day. Thank you again for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I really enjoyed learning about your business and all that it entails. So good luck with everything. And then I hope spring comes quickly for you and you have a good year.
Well,
So,
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.